Hello, everyone. This is Baduk, and we're back here on Fox for another 1Q game, it looks like. Testing out a new microphone just for fun. This may be a good travel microphone for if I do decide to go places and I still want to do content. So let me know if it sounds okay in the end. Anyway, let's get a game here and see how it goes. And hopefully, nothing goes wrong with the sound while I'm recording.
Start to play.
All right, we got a game here, and I am white. All right. I was going to do, ooh, the fox sounds are very loud. I'll turn that down a little bit more. And let's do 2, 4, 4 points, I guess. And I like to prevent my opponent usually from getting something like a Kobayashi or something. And I think approaching a 3, 4 is bigger than approaching a 4, 4. So I'm going to approach, let's approach high for fun. And he did this one, which is kind of interesting. Normally with this shape, you want the standing shape here, because that allows you to do this attachment. You could prevent the tiger's mouth if you want to, or you could attach in the corner now. If you prevent the tiger's mouth and he connects, attaching the corner doesn't work as well anymore. So I think I will attach now to get a little bit of a base. Pull back. Feel like he didn't really finish this area, but that should be okay. So normally when there is a double approach, you often want to attach on the side that you'd be fine taking influence on. So I think it would be this one. If he hanes, I extend and he takes the corner, and I block this way, then I get to take the influence towards my stone on the bottom. But I guess taking the other side would also be fine to potentially attack him over here. I guess either one should be fine in this case. So yeah, let's do this one. Why not? See what he decides to do. Just attaching and extending is often just the simplest way to play. And he is not going to attach in the corner or take the corner. This is sort of an older move, but it's not really bad. There's nothing really wrong with it. But this means I can block here, because if he pushes through, I can just capture this one stone on this line here. Normally, he would want to protect, but maybe he could also push here. But instead, he's just going to push through, which is really nice for me because I get to capture this stone, or at least damage this stone in a severe way. And in this case, it looks like we get to just capture the stone. And capturing like this is very large. Oh, he resigned.
Start to play.
All right, I got a game, and I am white. Okay. I'm just going to start in the opposite corner. No cross games here. Just going to play 2, 4, 4 points. Make it nice and simple for me. I actually just played a game, and that was a little bit annoying because he resigned very, very early. So I have to play one more. But we're just going to approach here. And I guess I'll take the corner. I'm fine with this. He's building influence towards the bottom side, which is perfectly acceptable. This is a little bit questionable, but I guess it's perfectly fine. I can jump here, threatening the tiger's mouth. And then I have this tiger's mouth on this side here, and I get a really strong position towards the left side. So it's hard for him to build a lot here. Oh, and then he's taking this very, very small scale, which feels okay for me. So now there's a couple different moves I kind of want to play. Like I want to play this one to prevent him from approaching here, because he has a very solid position. And I kind of want to play this one to do the same thing. So I'll do it on the bottom side, because this side's very solid. And if he approaches the top, if he approaches the top, then I might pincer. This push is very questionable because I've already sort of reduced him. And this is just going to give me extra strength towards the left side. Even if he peeps here, this isn't really doing too much for him. My group is alive. And all he's really done here is actually make a weak group for himself here. It actually might be the right choice to attack it right away. But we can also just play another big move here. For example, approaching the upper left corner. If we approach, though, it's unlikely we'll be able to attack these stones. The other option, of course, is just to enclose a corner or extend on the sides. Let's just enclose our corner again. Just take another big move and not worry about it. And just connect. My group's alive. He's playing Endgame right now. But I'm happy to make sure my group is perfectly safe. Maybe he's misreading, and that's why he's playing so many moves around here, thinking I need to run out and he can fight me. But there's nothing I really need to do there. He's just protecting. It's kind of a slow move again. And I could play this nice big move on the side here. Or I can approach his corner here. I think I'll just take this nice big move and see what he decides to do. So in this case, I can just kick and capture the stone, which is really nice for me. Okay. If we block here and he Hane's underneath, we capture the stone and we get extremely thick on the outside and he might be able to live in the corner. And I think that's actually fine. So let's do that. Let's play the simplest way here. So we do this Atari. He pulls back, we capture, and then he lives. Or we capture here, and that's okay as well. So we get to capture the corner, and now he has a weak group on the side that he has to worry about. If I extend, I'm not really making any points. I'm just keeping him weak. Do I need to do that? Is a good question. I don't think I want him to Atari here. I think that gives him a lot of strength towards the center, so I think I will defend. So I'm going to extend one more time, and then if he keeps going out, then I was going to take this side. This is a bit low, so I'm perfectly fine to just accept it. Just let him live on the side. As I said, I think I'm just going to let him live, but I don't know which one's the better one. I guess this one, huh? The outside's still more important. He's pushing again, but I don't need to respond anymore. And it looks like we can just solidify our corner over here. We have a fairly large area. I think that's good enough. There is a little bit of Aji here. This is also his only sort of weak group here. So I'm not sure exactly which direction I want to play in. The corner is not as open anymore. So it could be fine to actually just play a big move like this 2-space extension, still threatening the corner, and just growing a couple more points for our group. That should be good enough. It's easy to forget about these sorts of moves, but they're often good to still play. So he still wants to just grow here. There is a cutting point and some Aji, so we don't really want him to grow too much. One of the better ways to have prevented that would have been shoulder hit, but this does allow me to come into the side here a little bit here. Let's test the corner here with this move and see how he decides to respond. Okay, he wants to just take the corner. And so we're going to do it again here. Just test how he wants to respond. So he doesn't really want me to get anything over here. I guess we can just attach underneath and try to use this stone at least a little bit. If I'm able to cut through his knight's move, that would be good enough. And if he just backs off like this, then we get to make a little bit of extra points that we shouldn't have been able to make, which is quite nice. He still sort of owes one more move. Otherwise, yeah, this is a sort of a bad shape for him. And so now we just want to probably reduce his area.
9.
I think maybe I'll just jump with this
7,
group.
6.
This gives me some strength towards the center. That is an endgame move. So I'm going to jump this way to get that strength towards the center and prevent him from building anymore. This is definitely much bigger, and he still has this weak group that he has to worry about. I'll just connect and jump here. My group is alive, so all I need to do is prevent him from building. And that's the entire purpose of my moves in the center. And we get to even take away some of his strength here. Looks like we get Hane. If he cuts, we're able to just connect through and play this nice tiger's mouth. If he cuts, then I just give up the stones, and I've accomplished my goal here. Okay, peep makes sense. Oh, peep again. All right. He decided not to take any profit, which is acceptable, just to try to attack my group instead. So he definitely needs to Hane on this side. This is very important. Yeah. I'm kind of tempted to Hane over here because there is Aji in this area, but just extending is good enough to make my group strong. Now there's basically an eye here already. We can just extend again. And it seems a little bit difficult to kill my group. Now we are getting to the point where we're getting close to his group. So if he plays too aggressively, he might end up dying. And there's still this cut here if I want to try to attack these 3 stones. So I think Hane here makes a lot of sense. I think we can Atari for some strength on the other side. And then extend down here, threatening to do the cut. Just extend. Seems okay. And there is a lot of Aji with this position. So I wouldn't mind turning here to focus on my weak group first. before trying to exploit anything. So just turn and connect up. This makes it very simple for me. So doing this knight's move might be fine, threatening the bottom side a little bit. If he really tries to cut through, then we can Atari and capture this bottom stone. So we probably want to connect at least one time. Threaten to connect. Atari. And then try to capture here. Extend. Probably a mistake, I guess. Is there any way to use it properly here? Seems like there's a jump here. And there's just a little bit of Aji with the shape. Just extend down. See if we can get anything. If I turn and cut, I don't know which side, just cut here. We only have too many liberties. There's not too much that we can do. So it seems like it could be a good idea to peep here because he has this weakness of this group.
9.
So if we
8.
peep here, threatening to connect up, and he connects, then we can connect. He doesn't want to connect. It makes sense. But he doesn't have a lot of liberties on his stones. So he could push through here. I connect, he connects, then I connect. Then he can go back and capture the 3 stones. We can push down. He doesn't have that many liberties. He has to be very, very careful. Okay, seems like this is fine. We're just getting to be able to reduce a little bit. And with this cutting point available, there is a little bit of Aji with this group. So we probably want to Hane here. Yeah, so even if you make a mistake, sometimes it's good to try to fix it in some way. So he's not worried about anything. It's probably fine. But let's just push through and capture the stone. Reduce a little bit. Make this area a little bit bigger for us. Making this cut here potentially a move to play as well. So can we cut here? If we do this attachment and he hanes, we extend, go down. He has this sort of potential problem here. So it looks like we probably can't.
9.
At least not right
8,
now.
7.
But it does look like
6.
that means we can probably attach here. And he can't hane because then we can cut. Because we made all of this very, very strong. So it becomes a little bit difficult for him to do this. Just extend. He should probably at least Atari once. He's probably fine. We can at least hane, which is probably Sente, to capture on a fairly large scale. He was very focused on endgame very early on. I'm fine with just blocking. We can just play along with what he wants to do. Just play basic endgame. It doesn't really matter which one. Let's do this one. We probably do want to hane here to get rid of him getting rid of this eye easily. But that one's a little bit small compared to this Atari, for example. When I extend here, these stones are captured. He can jump, but we do get to capture at least these 2 stones. Okay, connect it up. This one was very large, so I wouldn't mind. I guess just hane here would be fine. Yeah, just hane. If he blocks, then we have this hane that he has to worry about a little bit later. So we can hane back here, which is good. And he has to be very careful with how he's playing here, because he doesn't have a lot of liberties. If I do this attachment here, and he blocks, I extend. He does this one, then I can do this Atari, threatening to capture the stones. So my stones aren't really dead yet. He can capture
9,
2.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Let's see if we can
3.
get anything out of this here. He answered in a good way. But if we block and he Ataris, then we Atari, and it's a ko. Let's see. He actually has a pretty good shape intuition. Okay, last beat you owe me for him. Hopefully he finds a move now. So if I do this one, he captures, and then I get to capture. If I do this one, he connects, I capture. If he connects, then I block. He captures back. Then I just need to find a co-thread, it looks like.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Okay.
5.
Because all that matters is if I can resurrect. Because that would be good enough.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He's run out of time. He ran out of time. So we should look at this area here. First, we just estimate the score. Ooh, he did a good job. I mean, I sacrificed some more stones here. So if I didn't try to do anything, then it would be me being a little bit ahead. But he ended up being a little bit ahead if these all end up dying, which is really cool. So let's look at this here. Let's see if there's actually anything here. So my thought was, if he captures, then I can capture. And that would be good enough. This is still threatening to actually capture more stones. And he's cut off over here, which means he has to live now. It's possible. It's just annoying. So he can't do that. He actually has to block, which means I can capture. If he connects as his co-threat, I can't connect, but I can block. Then he captures. And now I just need one co-threat that's big enough for the game here. Just capturing these stones would actually probably be big enough. Probably not good to capture it like this, though. Because if it's like this, and I capture back, he doesn't really need to live on this side anymore. But just in general, capturing these stones would be good enough. Even like this one. If I don't try to do this, if I just capture these stones, I guess I can connect solidly, then I should also still be ahead by like 13 points. It's still good either way. But he did a really good job. I made a mistake on the bottom, but I tried to just keep the game simple anyway and just play basic moves. He ended up making a mistake over on the top as well. I would say that I could have tried to play a bit more aggressively if we look at this left side. This is something I do want to talk about really quick because it's entirely possible for me to just invade right now because my group is alive and strong and he played very, very close. Making the peep is perfectly fine, but doing this one space jump with the peep is not necessarily good. If he tries to protect his corner or prevent me from getting a base or something, then it's just going to be a fight for his stones here. And if I get the presence in the center, let's just play basic moves. Let's say he connects like this or something. Then now when I go to play somewhere else like this move on the top here, it's a lot harder for him to build anything here. So he kind of has to be a bit more submissive in the corner, and I'm able to build a lot more on the outside. However, in the opening, it's always also good to just play big moves, as you saw. Just playing the simple big moves in response to his slow moves, I'm still able to keep the game very nice for me. But I think this game was a good example of playing extremely solid until the end there, where I gave up a little bit, but I was still ahead, so it was fine. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. We'll probably have a little bit of the other game as well, just because that threw me off a little bit. However, it was still kind of fun to play this one. My opponent played really well for his rank. Now, before I go, I do want to say a quick thank you to the people who are supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit of support is extremely helpful, and I very much appreciate it. Because of the support I got on Patreon, I am streaming Fridays and Sundays at night and Saturdays in the morning or afternoon. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and have fun.